Welcome to Thriving with Chiropractic, where Dr. Mosier from Mosier Family Chiropractic shares a variety of topics designed to empower, inspire, and give hope. Take a few notes and enjoy the lesson.
Hey folks, Dr. Mosier here with my beautiful co-host Ellen, and we're going over chapter 3 and chapter 4 of the book, The Genesis Factor. Now, I have my big water here, and
We're actually going over chapters 2 and chapters 3. Never mind him.
Yes, but I have my big water here, and all week I had the goal of I'm going to drink a gallon of water a day. Well, I didn't achieve that goal because what I was going to do was I was going to challenge myself and then I was going to challenge you. But how about this? I'll just challenge you this week. I will drink 4 of these because these are 32-ounce containers, and we're going to drink our water, get hydrated. But I want to talk about chapter 2, not chapter 3 and 4, chapter 2 and chapter 3. Chapter 2 is called Made New, What Was Health to Jesus? And there was a Bible verse that I really liked, and it was the Romans 12:1, and I'm going to let you read that.
Okay. Brothers and sisters, God has shown you his mercy, so I am asking you to offer up your bodies to him while you are still alive. Your bodies are a holy sacrifice that is pleasing to God. When you offer up your bodies to God, you are worshiping him.
And I think that's so powerful because there's so much. Well, obviously we are Christian believers, and so what the Bible says we believe, but like it just makes sense that our body is a temple, and we need to honor it because it's made by God.
And we only get one.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. He was also talking about in there's a story in the Bible. There was a man at a well, and he was at the well for many years, 30 plus years. And Jesus went to him and said, asked the question, do you want to get well? Well, if you go back into the translations of the time, that get well really transforms into restored whole or new beginning. And so what he asked him is, do you want a new beginning? And I think when you think about it in those terms, that's pretty powerful. Another aspect was praying for healing, right? We're always praying for healing, and but we're living the counterproductive lifestyle. We're eating fast food, processed foods, drinking a whole lot of sugar, and not drinking our water like we should. And we're praying for healing is like the guy or girl that jumps off the building, 10-story building, and prays for God to catch him. Well, he can, but God is also like, hey, there's, physics, and, I've given you teachers in your life that taught you physics and how gravity and inertia, when they come together, it hurts. And so that's kind of, we gotta live the lifestyle that he's gave to us.
Yeah, that's true. He also talks in chapter 2 about your Genesis factor. I mean, he's tying in precisely his title of his book and what that is for each of us. And he has 4 bullet points, and I'll just read them really quickly because I think they're important and they're practical. You can be made new, so don't ever feel like you can't be made new. You can be restored, and you can be made whole and get your form back. So when you feel like you're failing, there's hope. And that's something I think we try to do in this office, is give hope. And that Jesus is looking for you to do it, and he's ready to help. So we're not alone. He's always going to help us through.
That is true. That is true. There is a quote from Jack LaLanne, and it just says, if God didn't make it, I won't eat it. And so that was the big thing that I took away from chapter 2. Now, going into chapter 3, it's called God's Myths Busters Revealed. And he has a lot of myths and truth, and we're going to cover that. Something funny was your hormones, because everyone wants to blame their hormones and everything, aren't simply a matter of age, luck, or genetics. Epigenetics deals with lifestyle. So that can change how your hormones work, which can fight against you or for you. But let's talk about some myths.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Myth. You eat like an elephant, you're gonna look like an elephant.
Is that true? Well, let's read.
Is it true?
No, it's not true. I know that's not true. But
all right. So if you're eating the food that God has provided for us on this earth, not the fast food and highly processed foods, then you're not going to look like an elephant because our bodies are designed to process those foods properly.
That's true.
Are you ready to answer myth 2?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm ready.
If you crave, you cave.
So what he was talking about there is, in his programming for eating and nutrition and fitness and all that, is there's room for leeway. There's room for vacation days or cheat meals. And you want to have those scheduled out. But just because you cave in and you eat ice cream, which me and Isaac, we really like eating ice cream together, one of our little boys, but it's not the end of the world. You can still get back on track. You just need to plan your cheat days, cheat your meals.
Be disciplined, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's easier said than done. Maybe I should be more disciplined with my water drinking.
That's right. I think your boys drink water better than we do, don't they? Yes.
Yes.
They do.
Yes.
Okay, myth number 3. Low, reduced, free, and no foods are health and diet food, and foods that are good for you are expensive. So he's talking like low sodium, low carbs, reduced fat, fat-free, all those foods.
In order for processed foods to be low sodium, low fat, low calories, what have you, they have to artificially do that. I mean, we can use the example of diet soda. You used to drink diet soda a lot, and I'm not picking on you. It just, that's what your family did. Well, there's aspartame in that, and well, if you gave aspartame to rats, the rats die. Like, that's just literally what the research shows. You can look that up. I guess if you're drinking diet soda, technically you're drinking rat poisoning.
That sounds yummy. Something I'd like to add to this too, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times those labels on a box or on a can or any kind of container is appealing to us. It's like, oh, we're going to do better. We're going to get the, not as bad option to consume, but something to think about. The companies have to they have to prove that they're giving less sodium, but by how much, to get that label on that box. So sometimes, while it may say that, they did the bare minimum that was required to get it approved to have it on that box. I only know this because my father works in a family-owned jelly business in Bloomington, Indiana. He's been there for 35, 36 years. And one of the things is they were, cracking down on the regulations of what they're putting in their process.
So with developing jelly, really developing anything, there is so many regulations, and with those regulations, they can, to reach this label, you have to meet these requirements. But sometimes you just meet those requirements. especially when you're making these different types of foods. Something I want to mention is I am ultra proud of everybody that's been coming to the group exercise classes. They are working hard. They're changing their lives. Many of you on here, well, you're not able to attend our classes, but you're listening to a health talk, right? You're making active steps. It's never too late. That's why, I'm challenging us all to drink more water, but I'm also, I want to mention these bands. Something that we believe is that your story matters. And so this simply says, your story matters. Whenever someone gives a testimonial or good feedback, you get a band. But ultimately, what that represents is you're somebody. You're worth sharing your story. Sometimes when our health is compromised, that stops our story, cuts it short. So I am super excited about this program. Something else, I want you to feel free to comment. You mentioned your dad making the jelly and that story and my process of trying to be disciplined and drink my water. We want to hear your story. We want to hear what you're struggling with and what you've learned over the years, and let's make this a conversation. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned for
next week's Thriving with Chiropractic for the journey. We'll be doing Dr. Lerner's next 2 chapters, which will be chapters 4 and 5. And comment below. We'll see you next week. Bye.
If you found value in this video, please comment and let us know your biggest takeaway. We also ask that you don't keep this information to yourself. We ask that you share it with your friends and family by simply clicking the share button below.